Let's go.
Corny Dads.
Corny Dads do that. That's the official Corny Dad handshake. We're not saying sorry. We're not re-correcting. We're just going balls to the wall straight through it. Welcome back, guys, to the Corny Dads Podcast, episode 5.
5. Let's go.
Yeah.
I'll start feeling impressed whenever we get to double digits now.
I know you're stuck on the 10, and we'll get there.
Yeah,
we're getting there. Thank you all for tuning in so far. I appreciate all the comments, liking, subscribing, all that shit on the YouTube channel. It's awesome to see, and we have fun doing it. I hope you enjoyed the last episode that is dropping this Sunday in the weird recording schedule that we have. That got confusing.
Hey, I feel like we're officially podcasts. We're talking about like, oh, well, whenever our episode airs, it will be, so we're legit.
Yeah. We're going to get it on Spotify soon, too, because, I think you can just do that. It sounds really, cool to me.
Watch out, Joe Rogan.
I know, right? Yeah, Joe Rogan.
Hey, we need to get our fucking bag.
Yeah. 100 mil. We need 200 mil, right? Yeah. So how you been, man?
Doing well. Quick life stuff. Swim season's starting up again. But we actually have our passport appointment for Potato.
Oh, what?
Yeah, our little guy.
Okay.
Yeah, our passport appointment on Monday.
There you go.
Yeah, because we have to go back up to Canada for Christmas this year.
Dope.
And he's 2, so won't be allowed in the country unless we get him a passport.
So has he been to Canada?
Yes.
Okay.
So he's allowed to he was allowed to cross the border, but we tried to get on a plane. And they literally looked at us as we were checking in, and we're like, he needs a passport. We're like, it's okay. He's 6 months old.
He's an infant.
Yeah. They're like, no, if he's a day old to get on a plane, he needs a passport to get to a different country.
Yeah.
So we did a quick recon, figure out what the hell we were gonna do, and drove up and drove across the border.
Damn.
Pled our case. It was Canadian border, so they were super fucking nice to us. Yeah.
That's a thing?
Yeah.
The rules aren't just you can just plead your case and be like, hey, look at him. He's a good guy. He's nice. He's 6 months old.
We got no straight answers before we drove up to the border. But every person that we asked was just they might not. They might let you through. They might not let you through. We're like, well... Can we get just some sort of firm answer on
there has to be some protocol. It's weird that there's variability.
Yeah. When we got there, it was no issue, though. They were just cool, okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
And then we got on a plane in Vancouver and flew from Vancouver to Toronto.
Oh, okay. So it was going in. Okay. I thought you had driven there. We're gonna fly back or something. Interesting.
We had to leave our car in the Vancouver airport for 2 weeks because we flew from Vancouver to Toronto.
Was that $4,000?
Toronto back to Vancouver, and then fucking jump in the car and drive back down.
Damn.
Yeah, it was super lame. That was 2 Christmases ago.
Damn. How far of a drive that's how far to Vancouver from here?
I don't want to be wrong, but I want to say 6 hours.
Yeah, it's something that's not even bad.
Yeah. Oh, it's not terrible. No, because here to Seattle's 3.
Yeah.
Then it's another 2 or 3 from Seattle up to Vancouver.
Have you done anything in Seattle? I haven't been there since I was a kid, and I remember doing the classic tourist thing where you go to Pike's Place Market and you see them throw the fish, and it was entertaining.
Yep. Did that. My dad caught a fish.
Oh.
Old white man.
Oh,
His thing.
Oh,
KB. Yeah.
That's awesome.
I've had a few swim meets up there. Jen and I have gone up a couple times just for a little family vacay. Actually, our first go away with the kid whenever Mateo was 3 months old. We rented a hotel room up there.
There you go.
Yeah, and drove up. Super touristy though. We stayed right in 2 blocks from Pike's Place.
Yeah, we went to the first Starbucks.
Yeah, of course.
I've never been to that.
Yeah, got cheese from Beechers or whatever it is that makes the cheese up there.
Once you're inducted into the local thing that you're supposed to do, you can almost do no wrong. Oh, those local establishments, and they completely transcend the quality, the price, or competition. It's just none of that matters at all, or the cleanliness or anything. It's just that you're the thing to do when you visit the city. You got chosen. So you're good, and some people become lazy. It seems like. And then the quality suffers, and it's like, why is this a staple of this city?
Dude, I'm such a proponent of doing exactly what you just said, which is like you whatever experience you're there for, go full in.
Yeah.
Go full in on the experience. Don't chimp because like, oh well, I don't normally like doing that, or I don't like tasting that thing, or like I'm not normally a cigar guy, but dude, I was with my father-in-law. It was like our first vacation I ever went on with them, and he looks at me and asks me if I want to have a cigar and a glass of scotch on the beach. I'm like, I don't like either of those things, but yes, I would love a cigar and a scotch on the beach and listen to you rant about business stuff.
Is your father-in-law like Todd Packer? Or Michael Scott? Like, easily could be either. Just have like this weird quirk, and they're like, let's share a moment. Cigar and scotch.
All about it.
That's
all
amazing.
About it. Yeah.
That's amazing. And you're puffing the stove, you're drinking the scotch, and the tastes are probably just like fucking
wild. I just remember just being like the only word that kept going in my mind was intense.
Yeah.
It was just like
this is intense.
This whole experience is so intense. Oh, and like Jeff, shout out Jeff, my father-in-law, is a fucking monster businessman. Went from living in a car, cleaning himself in gas stations, to a mogul in the gambling, like mobile gambling and and just gambling in general.
He disrupted an industry.
Yeah.
That's what these new business people be talking about.
Yeah.
You find an industry and you disrupt it.
Dude, straight up did that with fucking putting gambling onto cell phones.
Gnarly.
Like, if you fucking do any sort of playing poker or anything like that, like, it started with a company that my father-in-law had a hand in and worked with.
It's a way to make a bag. You could be making 1 cent off of those transactions. It's a big friggin' bag.
Yeah. But, like, just sitting there listening to... And, I mean, he's since moved on to so much other stuff. And he's, like I said, whenever I talk about Jeff, it's more just general business and not, like, this industry that he works in. Because he did, like, software development. He did the gambling thing for a while. Yeah. Now he does a lot of advising work now. Like, he had his hand in the cannabis industry for a little bit doing advising work. For a few, whenever Canada fully legalized.
Canada's fully legalized now.
Recreational. It's been it's been you can go to Home Depot and buy fucking hemp plants.
What?
Yeah, I remember like with the first year or so, there was like this little viral thing that went where like a guy walked into Home Depot with like a farmer like walked Home Depot to get his normal stuff and was like, it was like cannabis indica, cannabis sativa, along with their like their other like strawberry starters.
Bruh. But let me guess, Mark Emery's still incarcerated, probably, right?
Who knows, man?
The Prince of Pot or whatever. He's like the most.
I bought my first seeds off Mark Emery back in fucking college.
Man, I remember diving down that rabbit hole like, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago or so, and just watching all the documentaries I could find, possibly, about like weed and weed legalization and everything that comes with it. And that was a big one that stood out. Yeah. It was like the trials and tribulations of Mark Emery.
He's a polarizing character.
Okay, yeah, I could see. Because me back then seeing it, I was just like, weed, yeah, I love you.
Yeah,
like,
fuck
cool.
Yeah, dude. Like, you're out there, you're fucking, like, championing it. And,
but yeah.
I mean, dude, like, there's things that he did that moved our industry forward in ways that, like, we cannot say thank you enough.
Yeah.
But, at the behest of me saying something that I don't know too much on, I just think there are definitely things that he did to be like, fuck you, bro! Legalize my shit! You would just, like, not advertise that you're selling cannabis weed to, like, everyone.
Yeah.
So you could do that, too.
Yeah.
But, like I said, if we didn't have him and other people like him, then who knows where we would be at right now.
Yeah. Do you know BC Bubble Man? That name?
Yes.
That was one of my...
The fucking reason I know how to wash hash. Yeah.
Really?
Dude, like fucking, I've watched so much BC Bubble Man.
Dude,
like,
no way.
So much.
No
BC.
way. I used to watch like deep dive it.
Dude, I think.
Oh my god, that's so dope.
I'd be surprised to find out if there isn't a hash maker or like a home grower, guy who hasn't, BC. He's the man.
Yeah.
He's the fucking man. Although he does like just abuse those poor guys that he washes hash with.
What do you mean?
Again, I always felt bad for his assistants on the videos that he makes. He's always just like, watch this, go over. Like, he's like, and he's always like kind of talking shit. He's like, oh yeah, like, you know, this is the nice stuff. I always like smoking the nice stuff. And here's like the, you know, our lower grade, the 25 year, whatever. He's like, Johnny over here will smoke anything though.
He's so bougie about his hash.
Right?
That might be the pinnacle in the world of how bougie you can get and still like pull it off and not be the biggest dick, but like, oh my god, dude, he's only smoking. What is it that's the headiest? The 90U?
Yeah, 90. Well, it all depends. If you ask him, especially, dude, because like some strains, like, where's my bike?
Oh, yeah.
If you just say, dude, where's my bike? Like, you know exactly, because he watched that so many times, made so many videos of that strain. But no, like, some strains will wash better with the, like, 90 to 120U.
Okay.
Other strains will wash better with the 73 to 90 bag.
Because the gland heads are different sizes.
Yeah.
So the best gland heads would be, like, different for each one.
For education on this, shout out Farmhouse Studios, at Farmhouse Studios, or at Schwale or Schwale. I wish I knew which one it was because I worked directly with him. And I still don't, but SHWALE. Dude, the Instagram he does these macro zoom in shots. Yeah. Combining, you know, like however many thousands of pictures into one, where it's like he'll start with the bud and then like zoom in until you are on the glandular level.
That's gnarly.
And like most of his Instagram posts, he's actually showing measurements on the glands that he's growing, and like he breeds based on gland head size and like stalk structure and like all that shit.
Damn.
Yeah. He's wild.
That's dope. What I've been hearing more lately is just how it's going to shit kind of in Oregon in specific, because there's so much weed growing that it feels like a lot of the nitpickiness has like suffered because of the proliferation.
I got you, bro.
There you go. We're throwing out big words. There's just so much weed that people are caring less about the nuances of it. So it's cool that people are still sticking with that through this like crazy boom that we're all trying to like figure out.
Dude, I remember seeing ads on the market for growers, the OLCC market. So the market for like growers and producers and shops and shit like that. Mm-hmm. Dude, selling what they would call top shelf pounds for like $900.
Damn. I remember when like I heard about it and it would be like nothing under 2 bands or something for now.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
No. And now like
Damn.
there's a lot of cannabis.
And then we come back to the boy Wiz Khalifa, 400 a zip. Talking about 400 a zip.
Let's go.
Wild.
Dude, he's starting to sell Khalifa Kush around here.
Nice.
Yeah, I started seeing that pop up. Obviously, there's a dispensary around here called Khalifa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it through that?
I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that it's being. I want to say that's where I saw the ad for it.
Different spelling.
Between the shop Khalifa and his Khalifa.
They could reconcile that. Yeah. So explain your obscure connection to Wiz Khalifa.
Yo! Yeah! So yeah, I'm from Pittsburgh. I went to University of Pittsburgh, but grew up in Pittsburgh, super in the hip hop scene. And saw Wiz, multiple shows growing up before he was playing big places. Like saw Wiz whenever he was opening for, first show I saw him at was whenever he was opening for Fat Lip. Fat Lip, part of Farside.
Okay.
Back in the day.
Okay.
Dude, Wiz was there playing. The fucking venue was packed. Mr. Smalls, shout out Mr. Smalls in Pittsburgh. It's an old church that they renovated into a theater. And dude, super fucking dope venue. They made it even nicer now too. It's all bougie and shit now.
Damn.
And my parents go there for to see crazy places.
That's funny.
But dude, Wiz fucking lit. Show is awesome. People are going fucking crazy. He leaves. The place empties out, and there's 10 of us left to watch fucking Fat Lip.
Oh no.
Dude, to which credit to fucking Fat Lip, still played a dope show. Fucking directly to me and my group of friends, because we're the only ones there.
Oh my god.
I mean, we came for Fat Lip though. That's who we were actually there for. I knew of Wiz, knew who he was, had been at parties where Wiz was, and like he did like small performances and shit.
Yo.
But like, so knew he was there and was excited to see him and excited for the like, massive show that he put on. And then seeing everyone leave and just being like, well, this is kind of cool. Get like a private fucking 10-person show for fucking
so
Palette.
Mixed feelings. Like, I'm sorry, but thank you. But
I felt so bad for him, dude.
Damn, that's crazy. Was he like super tatted up back then too?
Not as much.
Yeah,
not nearly as much.
Interesting.
Still definitely had tats. Dude, he was scrawny.
Yeah.
Back then, like skin and bones.
So like, I don't know if I've confessed my true like level of dedication to Wiz Khalifa.
Really?
Dude, I used to watch the day-to-day YouTube videos.
Oh, dude, still watch that shit that he puts out every now and then.
I like don't watch them anymore. I'm not gonna lie.
Cushion orange juice?
I got off of it. Cushion orange juice was like a staple.
Yeah.
Like straight
Let's
up
go.
like life-changing, so dope.
Yeah.
And I actually saw Wiz once, and it was the first time that he ever played Black and Yellow.
Really?
Yeah.
No shit.
So it was like the first performance of Black and Yellow, which of course you all know went on to become like one of the biggest songs that he's ever done, and like competitively one of the biggest hip hop songs in the past 12 years or whatever. Like, it's a huge song.
Come on in,
it's
like
crazy.
Pittsburgh, like
yeah, I know.
Pittsburgh on my ankle. Like, yeah, if you're, that can be an entire podcast I can dedicate is to like talking about Pittsburgh and why I love it, why it's a great city, why it's the people there are fucking dope, the culture of the city is dope.
Hell yeah.
Like, it's a fucking rad city that's like had to go through a massive identity change. Like, as a city. No, as a city, like the city itself had to go through a massive identity and culture change. Pittsburgh had more millionaires and billionaires per capita than in New York City and LA and Chicago combined.
What?
Back in the day, back in like the real industrial area, like 20s to 50s. Like right after the Great Depression and shit.
Because Andrew Carnegie in the steel business.
So Andrew Carnegie, I forget the first guy's name, Mellon, and then another banker. So like three of the main big banks were created and started there.
People speculate that Carnegie, like pound for pound, was richer than Elon.
Yeah, dude.
And then there's other people reference in history, like ancient kings and things. That's like an extremely hard thing to reconcile because you're working with like inflating values of dollars and stuff. So it's like actually, it would probably be nearly impossible to actually side by side compare a king from the past, Andrew Carnegie, and Elon. But it's always an interesting speculation.
Yeah.
When it's like, whoa, they really, really were balling. Like, Carnegie was probably just recklessly balling.
Dude, and balling at a cool time and age where like they actually did nice shit. Where like, dude, there's so many like dope ass fucking like the Carnegie Museum,
damn,
Carnegie Mellon University, Carnegie Hall down in like the center of the. So like, there's a lot, and like there is also social programs that I like Carnegie set up and shit like that.
Elon makes flamethrowers.
And he like, come on, and Elon pretends to build underground tunnels so people don't build overground trains. Like,
oh my god! Shout out to Elon.
Shout out to
if you're watching, bro, like
we own lots of Tesla.
We'll have you on. It's okay. We'll have you on if you really.
You can sit on the casting couch. That we have.
God damn it! I was waiting for a comment about that. Yeah. It's a Walmart couch. Okay, it's quality. It's done us well. It's a futon.
My last Pittsburgh fact, I won't drag this whole Pittsburgh conversation out too long, but steel that made the Eiffel Tower and made the Statue of Liberty.
What?
Pittsburgh steel.
Pittsburgh steel. You heard it here.
Shipped over to France. They made it, deassembled the Statue of Liberty, shipped it back to America, and then reassembled it. Disassembled.
We're getting right with our words. You know what I just connected? The Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah. Amazing.
I don't fucking know.
think we're just celebrating a bunch of thieves? They take shit.
I mean, there's all kinds of weird names. There ain't Seahawks in Seattle. I guess Seattle.
Yeah.
Hawks, a bird.
Sure, there's
Hawks. All right. Hey, that works though. Good job picking the name, Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Let's go.
So how often did you go there as a kid though? Because it wasn't every day. You didn't live in Pittsburgh.
Oh no! So I grew up about an hour and a half north, but my entire extended, massive Italian family all lived in and still lives in Pittsburgh. Okay. So I was down there every single weekend. Okay. Summers, my parents would send me up to Pittsburgh, or send me down to Pittsburgh for, 3 weeks, a month at a time, and I'd bounce from like aunt and uncle to aunt and uncle to cousin and shit like that.
Dope.
Yeah.
So plenty of time to get to know the city and have people show it to you also.
Ooh. I mean, went to University of Pittsburgh too for way too many years. should have been only 4.
It was just 4.
Nope.
4, right?
Nope. Hell no. We're fucking 5.5, almost 6. Like 1 degree. Yeah. No, but like definitely like, I mean, spend like every single class field trip growing up was a trip, the hour drive to Pittsburgh, and you would go do something there.
Hell yeah. Come to 125. 21 minutes. We good. Hell yeah.
So yeah, I mean,
so then
is that somewhat similar to your relationship with Portland, or did you have that relationship where you were traveling up to Seattle a bunch?
No, it was definitely like the closest would be Portland.
Okay.
But yeah, as far as participating in the city and stuff, not a whole lot. Field trips would be as like equal to the outskirts as I live. Like I think I grew up probably a good 25 minutes, 30 minutes from the downtown of Portland, so not very far. But like a lot of the stuff that was like acceptable or chosen for me to do was just like stuff in the suburbs or stuff in the outskirts, kind of. Maybe once or twice going to the heart of the city, but it was never a big thing. Like, I don't know. No.
Oh, yeah?
And, like, no family lived any closer to the city than I did. They lived, like, on the other side, 20 or 30 minutes away. So we were all just, like, bordering, kind of. So whenever I'd visit family, I wouldn't really go into the city anymore. I'd maybe go through the city.
It's like, so Portland has the Saturday market.
Mm-hmm.
Like, was that a thing like you guys would go? Would you guys go to like markets on the waterfront or stuff like that?
Occasionally, yeah. I remember doing it with my family and having like that experience, but always a little bit sterile, kind of like us and them feeling out like it always felt a little distant instead of being vibrant and engaged and like part of it. I always felt kind of like an outsider just like looking at it. It wasn't much. There was never like, we know people vending or we're meeting people. It was never any of that. It was just like, we would probably go there, maybe get like food and then like move on. So it was always a little bit sterile. And that goes for some more of my experiences too. It's just like not as engaged as it could be with like people kind of like salt of the earth, like showing you the real way to do it. Something I like about you, you're willing to like do the thing and embody the place that you're in, and like talk to the people, meet the people, make friends with the people, and like there's a lot of value to that. And I wasn't really shown that as a kid. It was just like do a thing, complete a task, and then we'll like different thing. Yeah, it's kind of like hard.
It's a very easy like style to kind of get lulled into though. You know?
Yeah, the
like
one I'm describing.
The one you're describing. Yeah. So like like going to like say like a fair. Mm-hmm. You know, let's say like it's a like go to the extreme like a Renaissance fair where like everyone's dressed up in that shit. Like, dude, it's very easy just to like walk in and like watch the scene and take it in and then like grab a bite to eat and then leave.
Yeah.
You know? It's definitely a little harder to like, you know, strike up the conversation with the person that sold you the turkey leg. And like ask them what they're doing there, what you know, why, you know, what their lifestyle outside of that's like, but like,
and like that's what like Mama and I have done too. All right, guys, we're gonna take a break real quick. Coming up with an ad on the fly, guys, and today it is our Patreon that isn't posted yet.
Yeah,
we're gonna start a Patreon, giving you guys access a couple days early to videos, giveaways, and maybe Q&As, things like that. So
This is actually a good time. Tell us what you want out of a Patreon. We've been discussing a Patreon for a few weeks now. We've come up and decided upon a few things that we thought you guys might like. But if there is something you guys would see a lot of value in the Patreon, let us know. We will gladly deliver.
We're all ears. Thank you guys. Yeah, so there's a lot of value in like actually being able to engage with the people that are selling the turkey legs instead of just like, thanks for the transaction. And that's what I found out when I started hanging out with Mama more. My significant other Mama, not my actual mother. So that's what we call Haley. We call her Mama because that's what works. But yeah, when I started hanging out with her more and going places, we would just like talk to people. And it was so refreshing and like super novel and fun and like so energizing for me. Because it's just all of a sudden, it's just all there, and all these people are like really meaningful and deep and open and funny and like lighthearted or whatever. And, just like amazing.
And they have their own flaws too.
Yeah,
I think that's the biggest thing is like seeing and meeting other people and hearing them give out their like wild ass opinion about something or like something that they is so true to them, and you're just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But that, like, I think that, like, that gives you a lot more security in your oddities and, like, the things that, like, you might not be necessarily, like, wanting to share a lot about or whatever. But yeah, it's always, I don't know, anytime, like, I'm around other weird people, it always makes me go, like, oh, nah, like, we're good.
You have a thing for weird people, don't you?
I love weird people.
Yeah. When did that start? Have you always been like that? Like, in high school, were you friends with people more like you, or were you looking for the weirdo?
So
everyone's weird, guys. I know everyone's weird, fun. Everyone's weird. Some people actually, let's be real. Some people are more weird. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Some people are more weird than others.
March to the beat of their own drummer.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So my gut reaction as soon as you asked that. Is I got picked on a lot as a kid. Like I was the brunt of the joke through my big extended family, through a lot of my friend group growing up. I had a lot of older, like the family group of friends that we were in. A lot of the kids were a lot older than me, and I was younger, and I took abuse really, really well. Like, you make fun of Nick, I'm going to laugh along with you. You punch me, hit me or whatever, I'm not going to fight back, but I'm still going to be like, yo, let's keep doing this thing. Yeah. And that's just,
valuable for some reasons.
Yeah.
Can be harmful for others.
Yeah.
It takes a balance to make that workable.
So that has always instilled, like, I've always sought out other, it's like, you're an injured, hurt rabbit. You go and find other injured, hurt rabbits.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that whole thing kind of set me up for like just having an eye for the person that like seems to be really happy but isn't. That seems to be able to put on a smile whenever other people are like, making jokes and laughing.
Yeah. From your firsthand experience that it's more than just the surface for a lot of those people. And
it is one of the surface for everyone, right?
Yeah.
Because you look at the people who are doing the making fun of or whatever, and like, if you try to if you try to give back to them like they're giving to you, they get super defensive and like upset and angry. Well, it's because, they're super insecure, and that's why they were making fun of you in the first place, or like, that's why they were making the jokes at your expense and not their own.
Yeah.
Because they're insecure about themselves and they don't want the joke to be about them.
Yeah.
And like I'm saying that in the vein of like, that's not their fault. And that's not necessarily a terrible thing that they're doing.
Yeah. It's a lot of things are forgivable, but yeah, kind of at a certain point you can see how you're negatively affecting people in your surroundings. And in turn, bringing about negative things for your own self.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Hopefully. Right? Yeah, hopefully that's the...
Yeah.
That's how, that's the course of action.
Yeah, it's never, in the same ways, but you tend to attract what you put out. So if you put out tolerance in the big picture of things, you will likely get tolerance, and the same for intolerance. You will likely get it. It's just imperfect in how it actually comes to you. Yeah. So you gravitated towards people who were a little more like different, because you could tell that maybe they were hurting and maybe you would feel like camaraderie. Yeah. And like, hey, we can both be awesome even though we get fucking picked on and it's annoying. Like, yeah.
In a way to make it not sound like I'm a very good, great, person that is completely unselfish and loves to make other people nice. Like, I've always had an obsession with cool.
Yeah.
Like, ever since I was young, like, it's cool. I want to be cool. I want to find the things that are cool. Like, I really, really like that stuff. So, man, if you're hanging out with a bunch of weird people and you're even slightly cool, you're the coolest.
Yeah.
What do you think I'm a coach? Like, these kids think I'm super fucking cool.
Oh my God.
like they don't realize my friends think I'm a moron. like I am the absolute idiot. Like the farthest thing from cool.
Yeah.
But like, dude, the kids think I'm cool as shit.
That's real.
Yeah.
That's interesting, yeah. What are some other characters from your past that you could vaguely describe? That maybe we don't have to name them, but people who have made an impact on you because of their uniqueness.
Yeah, I got a swimmer. Yeah. And I will gladly... Man, now you're making me... So, I mean...
Just nondescript is a safe way to say it.
Dude, but she is super fucking rad. She marched to the beat of her own drummer. She... like, so blissfully unaware of how other people perceived her.
Yeah.
And, like, because, like, I mean, yeah, other kids would kind of be mean and make fun of her, and, like, but she had, like, a couple really good best friends, and, like, just everyone on the team knew her, and everyone was her friend. And that's just how she operated.
Damn.
And, like, even if you weren't, like, cool, that doesn't really have an effect on how she's going to feel, though.
Damn.
Yeah. Like...
savage.
She was, like... 6'7", like that. Not really, but she was like I could see, like, she was eye to eye with me whenever she was like 12 or 13.
Damn.
Like, but and like she just was always just a super tall, lanky, weird girl. Yeah. Had a YouTube channel with over 200,000 subscribers where she played anime video games. And like I don't know if she ever even showed her face, but like she would do like the dancing anime video games and sing along with them and do the karaoke stuff. What? And like just Matt got it ramped up. Yeah, dude. She was awesome. She was awesome. Name starts with an L. If you ever happen to find this video and you're watching this, please know that I thought you were fucking incredible.
Yeah.
And like, dude, had other coaches try to like tamper.
Okay, I was just wondering. There's not a lot of adversity in this story.
Yeah.
That's sort of the theme
she definitely,
of this.
Dude, she definitely got made fun of a lot.
Okay, that's what
like
sort
a
of
lot, and even like had a really sketchy relationship with her parents because like her parents somewhat supported the uniqueness of her, but also, which I can completely understand, like as a parent wanting to be like, you need to calm down a little bit, because she was high energy. If she was in the room, you knew she was there. I mean, like, your atypical, annoying, obsessed with anime white teenage girl.
Yeah.
Who was super tall,
Okay.
And, like, very strong features. Like, she was a gawky, weird, like...
That's a character.
Dude.
Well,
wasn't even that good of a swimmer either. Like, she finally came around to it the last 2 years and like kind of like figured it out. But like, so like she looked like a baby deer while she swam.
Okay, that helps me round out the story, because from what you were saying, I was building up this almost near perfect person. But so to hear that she falls a little short.
So far from it.
Right.
So far from perfect person.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that fits the description of like the weirdo a little better.
I mean, like, picture a like 6 foot 15-year-old 130 pounds. Like I'm just super skinny, scrawny. and overly confident with her weird quirks.
That would put you in some uncomfortable situations.
Dude, like, yeah, no, everyone loves anime and wants to talk to me about it. Like,
maybe.
As a 15-year-old girl in, like, 2018, no one, not a single one wants to. They're all worried about fitting in and being not noticeable. And, like, she is just like, do you want to sign my Genjutsu book?
But it's that confidence that probably helped her just, like, hit that part of the squad where it's like everybody likes her. It's because she just owned it. She's, like, confident.
I wouldn't even say everyone liked her.
Oh, I thought you said she was really likable.
She was very likable to normal people that weren't teenagers.
Oh, okay. But then within the squad, it's like, why are you not competing how we're all competing?
Oh my god! Like,
cool.
like,
why are you not being cool?
Like, we're on a pool deck, so everyone has their cell phone out, and we're kind of quiet and just, like, doing our cell phone thing, and Lauren is sitting there blasting some sort of K-pop, asking why doesn't anyone want to dance?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
The whole, like...
And that's why I keep saying, like, how rad she was, because, like, even with people trying to tamper that out of her, she was just like, nah, fuck that.
Love it.
Yeah. I'd dance. Yeah, fuck it. Lauren, like, yeah, what's up? Like, you're awesome. Like, tell me more about this crazy crap that I could care two bits about. That's
crazy. It's two different ways of processing weird people, though. You go all in, which is awesome.
Why not?
I like I'm so much more like an introvert than you.
Just like back away. Be like, oh, do your thing.
Yeah, or like I want to like actually like connect with them on like a chill way.
Oh yeah.
But you're like very like free and flowing. I love it. You're just like, let's do the fun thing. Like, all right,
rock it. I was on like a 4-week bender where I kept trying to get her to bring in her play button.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, because she had a play button. Yo. And like, you know, I talked to parents about it, and parents were like, yeah, it's hung up, da, da, da. And I was like, can she bring it in? I want to see this thing. I want to see this, because I've never met anyone with one. I want to see one.
Well,
I was super obsessed with YouTube at the time. I mean, still super obsessed with YouTube, but like I was super obsessed, like finding out analytics, watching a bunch of like documentaries about it. So like knowing a person that had one, I was like, bring it in. She was always that was the one thing that she was slightly embarrassed about.
How weird.
Right? The thing that she had the most success in. The thing that she was like saw the most, and like, you know, people were messaging her all the time or whatever about it, because like she would show me all the stuff, she would show me the back end, because again I was super interested in like you know, you get your analytics, what are you like, let me see them, what are they? And of course like she had a like Japan weird like a whole bunch of freaking really weird nerds over there like loving on some fucking like teenage white American girl who like knew how to speak Japanese, and like
that's hella weird.
Yeah.
You know what? If you want to see a play button, you just have to wait, because we're gonna have to.
Okay. Whatever you say, bro.
Corny Dads Podcast. We'll hold it right here. It'll be about this big.
Wait, don't you need like 100,000 subscribers?
Yeah, 100K. You get different ones. I think you get 100K. Maybe you get 500K, but I know you get 1 million.
Yeah.
Because it's like the diamond play button.
Yeah.
And then they probably gave PewDiePie one that's like
for the 100 mil. They did
plutonium.
Yeah.
For 100 mil, they gave him a different one.
Yeah, it was. Was it platinum? It might have been the platinum blade one.
Maybe, or maybe diamond is that one. And
yeah.
The other, I don't know. We'll find out. We just have to stick with it. We'll find out.
Come on, what's up?
Yeah. Hell yeah. Oh, okay, we're all good. I want to show you guys.
Yeah, let's move on to some glass talk.
Made this perk in a piece, like inner focus.
You talk about it, I'll show it.
Yeah, so I've done one piece where I welded a perk inside the vessel, and it was like the PEEP tube I made a few months ago, maybe 6 months ago. And this one was the next iteration of that design. I really liked having something like encapsulated in the piece where there's no attachments and it's just something like inside it that's heady. So I did a full engraved perk, opal on top, and sealed that thing in there. I was super how it came out. It's got 5 holes for diffusion, and then I like put a stringer across each hole, making it each hole like 2 holes. So it's like 10 holes for diffusion, functions pretty crazy with the slurper. It's like a very airy hit. It's actually up for auction right now. I'm going to end it once we end this podcast. Yeah. Might be a little much water, but it still kind of worked.
Dude, yeah, still, that's a lot of water in there.
Yeah, it's like
it's still
a little
definitely
much.
functioned.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah, I made the outer tube like thicker than some of the pieces I've been making too. Like I made it out of 50 by 5, which like you probably have held stuff that's 5 diameter like tubing. Shit's heavy. It's like hella heavy.
Show thickness.
Yeah. Yeah, I personally really like thick pieces as long as everything's built nicely. I think thick pieces are just nicer to hold, more sturdy on the table. It's kind of like a good way to do it. So I made that one and I was really stoked and I was like, I think I can make another one with different holes. Because I didn't hit this with a slurper. I just hit it dry and I was like, oh, it's too airy. So I wanted to make another one with a little less. And this bitch came out so big.
Big chungus over here.
I was sweating so much. I like worked late. Like I had to do so many different things to make this one work. And it didn't come out perfect, but I'm pretty happy with it. And who knows, maybe it'll end up being a giveaway either on Glass Pass or if you guys are interested enough, maybe even on here for Corny Dads. But yeah, same deal, just bigger. That perk inside of it felt like it was the size of a mini tube. Like it was actually like pretty big. Like usually I would just push a Maria in like.
So yeah, is it the same size as your mini tube?
I mean, like it's like the same size as that shit.
Yeah,
pretty much.
it's bigger.
Yeah, it's bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hella fun though. Super good adventure, like learning and like holding something that heavy and trying to do something specific with it. It's definitely challenging.
What's what's the difference in the perks on this one?
That one's just 5 holes, but the holes are smaller. So I did 5 holes on this one, but the holes ended up being big, so I crossed them over to make them double holes. But this one's just 5 holes. And I don't know. You got the water level more on point, so it feels a little bit better than it was. When you came over, it had too much water in it, and it was like hard to pull.
Yeah,
like it took like a startup to pull.
So I was saying earlier, Hondo makes the pineapple raids, and his perks are a lot like this, where it's the big central perk with a bunch of holes on the outside, and it hits the same way. With those perks, it's just you have so much water that you have to move out of the way for that initial pool that like it does get a little bit of like a to get it going.
Yeah.
But then once it gets going, because that water is cleared out of the bottom of the perk, then you're just hitting small bubbles the whole way around.
Yeah.
So that's why you get that first initial kind of into it, which, to be honest, once you get used to it, it can actually be something you kind of look for and like crave. Yeah. Because I know people like enjoy hitting Hondo specifically for that reason. Oh, interesting. Because it feels like you're doing something like.
Yeah. Do you think people prefer to throw slurpers on that type of stuff, or just either like whatever works?
Dude, it's interesting to see dabbing, like go through the fashion changes that it does. Yeah. Because like, I don't know, you're just seeing so many just straight up like slurper, blender, auto spinner, that sort of stuff, and like the actual bucket style banger itself, you're just not seeing on Instagram as much. Now on day-to-day life, that's a great question. I don't sesh with enough different people to see. Right. Yeah. But like people that I sesh with, like everyone's just got their fucking slurper in an ISO dish. Damn. Like a little slurper travel ISO dish. Damn. Yeah, with a little like those like they're getting so convenient. Like so convenient just to have like a little ball mason jar with a cage in it. Oh yeah, shit. And then like if you're traveling around to sessions doing that, and if you're at home, you just fucking dump it out, trade out the ISO in it.
And the hit you get from that is so much different than like, I don't know, because people would argue like, oh, well, that's a hassle. And, you know, if you're outside of, like, regular user, like, sure, yeah, all these things are a little bit more of a hassle. But the difference between a dab like that and, let's say a proxy rip or a Puffco rip, to a connoisseur is almost, like, incomparable. Like,
we had a really fun sesh a couple days ago. Kubi and Nickenheiser.
Nice.
Shout out Queen Prince Glass. Shout out Nickenheiser.
Yeah.
Yeah, check him out on IG. But yeah, I had a really fun sesh. Nickenheiser brought his girl over.
Okay.
Yeah, got to meet her. It was rad. She's very nice.
Good.
But we got on the discussion about, because like, I was making small stuff for them just to use right away. You know, like making a quick pill and pearl and stuff, letting it cool down and like
how does that feel?
Using it,
fun,
dude. So much fun.
Right?
Just like, oh yeah, pick something like that. Yeah, I'll make that color.
Yeah,
I'll make that color.
Yeah.
So like, and he brought over a nice little amount of different, you know, stoner accessories. Kubi had a whole setup and everything. I had, you know, we were at my place, so I had all my shit. Mm-hmm. And like, we got on the discussion about how like dabbing is such an aesthetic thing.
It's romantic.
Oh my God, just like you know, having your jar of different pearls, pills, you know, knockers, marbles and that stuff, picking the different setups, knowing how each of them will rotate and spin whenever you're using them. Like, I've heard the argument of like, oh, does putting a pearl in your banger do anything? Or does yeah, it does. It makes me happy. Yeah, it makes me really happy. You don't get happy when you see it. Yeah. I do.
Yeah.
So it's you know, does it make it dabbing any better? Like, does it make? Do you get higher, or does it does it do anything to increase that part of it? Like, probably not.
Here's a great comparison though. Does a car that sounds really loud like increase your driving experience when you're like next to a cop in a small town? You know? No, because you don't get to actually do anything differently, but you still like your car. You still love that Dodge Charger with the fucking Hemi in it. Yeah. And you love how it sounds, how it feels, that it's yours, that you own it.
The paint.
Yeah.
Like the paint.
Yeah.
Like, does the paint make you go any faster?
Yeah.
Does it make your car any better? No, but like, it's like, it's such a satisfying experience, dabbing.
Yeah. And then buying things from artists like that is like a farmer's market vibe where it's like, you know the thing and like you get to support the person and it's not just a big brand and it's like a whole like awesome.
On my way over here I was listening to the most recent banjo.
Oh yeah.
Which I want to shout the
From Sands to Bands.
From Sands to Bands, but the channel Exhale City.
Yeah.
That's it. Shout out on YouTube, XHALE City, Exhale City.
Yeah, we love what you guys are doing. And
super dope.
I follow the people who made the video. Mason does work, and then the other guy. Like, I appreciate you guys for doing a dope video on banjo. And they confessed that they were actually newer to Heady Glass, too.
Oh, cool.
But they were, like, videography or photography for Exhale City, which I clicked through, because I did a little, I was like, how did this come to be?
Right.
You know?
It's really, really well done.
Yeah.
Like, really, like, production. That's the whole thing about YouTube, like, production value.
Yeah.
And you can tell that they've done other video work.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So Exhale City looks like has, like, some crazy number of locations. It was either, like, 17 or 30 or some, like, just, like, a bunch of shops. So it was cool. They must have contracted some professional videographers to, like, go into the world of these glassblowers and, like, see what it's all about in a new way. From a new perspective, because it like when people come in from an unadulterated perspective, it's usually a lot more honest and maybe even interesting and like unique than people who are like tried and true. Alright guys, we're gonna do one more ad today.
Happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, do the board.
Do the board?
Do the board, come on. So advertising today is Ben Focus hat pins.
Let's go. Get you some. There's probably about 150 different ones. Each one has at least 100 made. Find them where you can find them. Oh. That was
really good because we have two claps. That'll really help Mom out.
Yeah, that'll really help.
There you go.
We're working on it. We're working on it. Hey, shout out to Morbid Mama for the video editing, the background making, the logo making, and the support that it takes to give both of us a chance to record this podcast, upload it to you guys, and keep the ball rolling. Morbid Mama does a lot of work.
Like, this wouldn't happen without Morbid Mama, legitimately, so thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Okay, so what I was saying, though, is I heard this one thing. You ask me my favorite sport.
What's your favorite sport?
Professional bass fishing. Professional bass fishing is my favorite sport.
Let's go.
Dude, it is just the whole world. They actually have fantasy bass fishing.
Yeah?
You can pick your roster.
Amazing.
And each lake they go to, you can... I'm like...
Yeah.
Yeah. I need to get into it. I haven't actually picked my team, but it's because I don't know all the players, so I got to kind of like...
Well, I mean, you don't want to get in like a noob.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, just start like making all the sorts of decisions.
You just brick it and pick the worst team. Like I want to, because I actually was into it almost 15 years ago because I was really into fishing when I was 15. That was like my thing that I liked to do, and I kind of tapered off as I got older teenager. But like maybe 12 to 15, I was like fishing because I lived near a pond. My neighbors had a boat that they took to other cool places, and I got to go with them sometimes. So like, and it was like the cool older neighbor. So he was like super dope, and he like hung out with me and like would take me fishing and stuff. So it was just like an awesome thing. But yeah, I would watch professional bass fishing back then and DVR episodes. And like, I still know like pros from back then. Kevin Van Dam, Skeet Reese, Gerald Swindle. These are all professional bass fishermen from the 2010s. Or before, probably the...
Did you just say Skeet Reese?
Skeet Reese. Skeet Reese is one of the guys. He actually... And you know what?
Was his chosen nickname Skeet?
His name is Skeet Reese.
Wait, like mom and dad went, oh, check out little Skeet.
Oh, Skeet.
I know what I'm going to name him after.
Well,
he was Skeet from the moment he came out of me.
Oh my god. What are you going to name him? Skeet.
What is he? Skeet.
Skeet Reese has a couple cool quirks. He has very spiky hair, or he did 15 years ago. I think he probably does still now because he's cool. His favorite color is yellow. So he has everything's yellow, like boat, truck, shoes, jacket.
Coldplay fan? Cool.
Hair. It was we don't want to get copyrighted.
Corny Dads.
He's sponsored by Toyota. So when I tell you he's got the biggest truck, this motherfucker.
The bed of his truck is the size of this room.
It's literally it's like a dump truck. It's like it's probably like an F550.
Bitch needs a ladder to climb into it.
It's like, what are we doing?
Shaq couldn't step into this thing.
Yeah. But so if you think about like down south, a bunch of people like outdoor activities, and fishing is one of them. They spend a lot of money on all that shit.
Yeah.
So there's actually a lot of money in professional bass fishing because of all the sponsorship deals and like the boat companies.
I was gonna say fishing is a fucking huge money industry.
Yeah, but sport fishing sometimes people don't understand why like sport fishing could also be it. But it's because of all the brand deals and sponsorships and everything that go on. Drive past the Bass Pro Shops. Yeah. All right? It's big. You don't think there's a lot of shit going on in there? Come on. There's a Bass Pro Shops you can stay in. It's like a hotel one. We want to go there someday. It'd be freaking awesome.
We went to one where we were doing cross-country road trips that had like a river through it. Oh. One of those like there are people like putting a line in. Thing. Yeah. Oh, it's a dream of mine to like fish in the tanks where it's like, they put big fish in there. It's like it's not hard. Like they're hungry on a feeding schedule, and it's dude, we had this guy like growing up. It was one of my friend's dads, and it was just one of those guys that like you're just like never gonna be even a quarter of a man that you are. Cool. Okay. Like he was a fireman. Business owner, farmer, like had a huge farm, and carpenter because he built his house.
Held the door for his wife and any other woman.
No.
So being a man ends somewhere sometimes for people. You draw a line.
Women need to know where their fucking place is. And that is not with us, man.
Deal.
So, They're one of those guys. But
fireman, business owner, you're racking up the man points.
He straight up on his property dug a lake.
Let's go.
And like built a super nice like gazebo area thing that like sat right on the edge of it. So it had a big dock and all that too. And then populated it with fish. So then like whenever I remember being like 16, 17, like we'd go chill still on the dock. Like you could spit in the water and like fish would be jumping and grabbing at it. So like you toss a hook in without anything even on it. Boom, 30 seconds, there's a fish on it. You just reel that thing in.
God. Oh, that's my dream.
Yeah.
I want to have a pond or a lake on property.
In the barn, he had sons built a small like mini ramp on the second story of the barn.
On the second story?
Yeah, second, because the first stories were all the hay and all that shit. And like the horse stalls and shit. So,
Mama says hay is a good business. She saw a TikTok, and it was that farmers that are like smart will do hay instead of livestock. Because it's so much work for maintenance of livestock that you just make a bunch of hay. Yeah. But that's really... A second story mini ramp is...
Dude, it was so... I just remember like being... Because like they were older than us and I was friends with their younger sister. So like we'd go up there and I wasn't even skating at the time. But like go there and just like run back and forth on their mini ramp.
Yeah. Oh my God. That's so epic. That's cool.
And like one of those people like they had like 4-wheelers, motocross bikes, they had like the one field they would set up they build out of like hay and then they would snow and they build snowboard ramps. And
did this get any more lit?
Set the truck up at one end and the tow rope was wrapped around the axle so you would hit the gas and that would pull you.
Was their last name Margera?
Isn't
that like
we were in Pennsylvania, like it's just other side of the state, other side of the state. Yeah, Franklin, Pennsylvania.
That's epic.
Yeah, dude, it was
Damn. All right, well, to reel it all back in. Okay, so fishing is my sport of choice. I love professional bass fishing, and I occasionally watch it, and my wife likes it too. So get you a wife who likes what you like. That's what I like.
Fuck yeah.
But one of the OGs, the guys that I used to watch when I was 15.
Yeah.
Kevin Van Dam.
Skeet and his friends.
Well, this is Kevin Van Dam. This is KVD. So you go into any Bass Pro Shops or anything, you will just see him on packages. His likeness is very
You gotta check
popular.
out this Kevin, bro.
Kevin Van Dam is the one like hella fucking like more tournaments than anyone. But he's also like aged a lot in the sport and he's still like extremely reputable, tons of sponsors. But as you know, with professional sports, the kind of inevitable reality is you will start to decline in your competitive nature. Yeah. So while he's still like maintained all of the reputation and stuff, and like he can basically do no wrong. It's like, I don't know, like Michael Jordan or whatever.
Yeah.
That people say he's like the Michael Jordan of fishing.
Okay.
It's like epic. Okay. He's like gotten not as like winning. He's not the winningest guy anymore. You know, he's aged a lot.
Is he still a professional like active athlete?
As far as I know, yeah. So that would probably put him approaching 25 years of competition. It would kind of have to. Maybe it's only 20. Maybe it could even be close to 30. But guys do it when they're older because it's just fishing. But it's still pretty physically demanding. But he was talking about like the competition that he's up against, and it's a lot of really current young dudes killing it, finding out all the new ways of doing things, adopting them, making them their own, suggesting new things, all this. And his like thing that really hit me was like, it's harder to stay open-minded the older you get.
Yeah.
So like that was just like a real piece of game from him, and like it is. And where this ties in is like the videography of Heady Glass and stuff. It's hard to stay open-minded for someone who's been in it from the beginning and only grown up in this bubble and, you know, became a professional in this bubble. It becomes hard with all the things you learn to stay open-minded because you have all these experiences with like sales and pieces and everything that shape your reality of what you know glass blowing to be. So it can be like boxing in a little unless you know, keep yourself open-minded, which is a good practice that many people do, but it's not necessarily how everyone views it. So it becomes rare to view these things in like a new light But then what we're experiencing here with this new banjo video from Exile City, it's younger people coming in to document things, and it brings a really fresh light to it.
Yeah.
And I think it's because of the novelty of it and because they're outside of the industry and coming in, there's no weight to it. There's no, overthinking that comes with, like, all the experience.
Yeah.
It's kind of dope.
Yeah, they're doing really, really well.
Hell yeah.
The one on the way, the newest one they put out, Banjo talks about the little, like, collectives that he puts on.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even want to call them demos. Because
it's a seminar.
But it sounds like the way he describes it, it very much sounds like he wants it to be much bigger than that.
Yeah.
Bigger than just a glass seminar, like something where you're coming to learn about how he blows glass.
Yeah.
Like he wants it to be very much just a communication of ideas about artistic endeavors in general.
My first reaction is that it's so humble of him. Someone who's enjoyed so much success and, like, can flaunt, like, having the biggest dick in the game. If you come at it from that perspective of wanting to, like, give value to others, it's like, man, like, you're like so dope.
Let's flip the coin and go, okay, Banjo could very easily hit up any studio in any city.
Yeah.
Just go to any city with the biggest artist and hit them up and go, yo, I'm Banjo. Can I use your studio to put on a show? Yeah. I'm going to charge people, $100. I'm going to charge people $1,000 a spot to come, and I'm going to put on a 1-day demo for them or a 2-day demo or some shit. Like, he could very easily do that.
Yeah.
And instead, he's talking about setting up a thing where there's like 30 people or so there, and like at any time, only 5 to 10 are actually focused on what he's doing.
That was super interesting.
Right? Like, super fucking rad.
Yeah.
And like just to have it be like, because these things do take a lot of time. Which, like, not being from the glass industry, but not being around a lot of glass blowers, like, going and watching someone put something together for the first time, you're super fucking excited for the first 15 minutes.
Yeah. But then they do the same thing 10 times, and you're like, why is this?
And you're just standing there watching. Yeah, standing there watching. So, like, for Banjo to have enough self-awareness to go, like, what I'm doing is super cool, but, like, not everyone's going, and they shouldn't be glued into me for the entire time that I'm making this entire thing.
It's super real.
Have some guys in the back, playing some music. Have some guys over there having a sesh.
Yeah.
Having some guys over there painting.
Yeah.
He was, to touch on what you were saying about, like, that, like, it gets harder to be open to learning.
Yeah.
Anytime you're around people like Banjo, people like the head coach on the team that I'm at, they operate on this, like, very high level of what they're doing. They are, like, the first people to say, like, I learn every day.
Yeah.
Like, even Banjo on that video said that, like, he'll be sitting there doing stuff, listening to a couple new glass blowers talk about stuff that they're doing. Like, he's like, I'm listening. I'm learning stuff from them.
Yeah.
Like, I learned stuff that I never knew before.
Yeah.
And, like, the coach that I work with, like, I'll be watching him have a conversation with someone that I don't respect at all.
Yeah.
And, like, he's sitting there listening to them and, like, giving them talking time. And it's like, oh.
Yeah.
Whenever, like, that's how the people at the highest level operate.
Yeah.
Is a willingness and an openness.
Or maybe correct, but maybe what would be encapsulating is those are how the people at the highest level who stay there kind of operate.
Yeah.
Because there's many people who reach the high level who you might find at the high level or experience when they're at the high level. But what we're sort of finding out is when people who stay there have that attitude of always learning. And I think Kevin Van Dam also had an attitude of learning, but he was being sort of humble and, like, these young guys are killing it.
Dude, it's very different whenever we're talking about professional athletes.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you get older, you wane.
You literally wane.
Literally, like, he's probably, if he's been a professional athlete for 25 years, probably has an injury or two that he's dealing with.
Oh, yeah.
Probably has some atrophy that he's dealing with.
Yeah.
Like, like, but, Like he's like the willingness, the willingness to learn, the willingness to like be open and hear and
In this same tournament, he got a fat hook stuck in his hand all the way through.
Dude, I don't like no.
And like, dude, but okay, so that's enough. But like, how unshook he was, you can't imagine someone being less shook. He was just like, okay, do what you gotta do to get it out, and it was just like, boop boop boop, done. And it's like hectic. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? Like that's so. Oh my god! Like it was like so intense. And he was just like, yep, this is part of the game. Whatever. Yeah, crazy. He has his own private pond too. Yeah. Yeah, and like a mansion and shit. He's so dope. But yeah, the boat sponsorships, the truck sponsorships, the like motor oil sponsorships,
right?
The fish finders, so the big screens they have on their boats, those big money people sponsor those things. Rods and reels, lures, apparel, like the list goes on. Like charter fishing, like everything is like so much money. It's crazy,
dude. Okay, that's what we need to do sometime. Do a charter fish.
You down?
Dude, I'm so down.
I haven't known if you're into fishing because, like, I don't want to... Obviously, not everyone's into things, so I'm not going to be like, hey, Nick, do the thing that I like.
I'm here for experiences, remember?
There you go.
Like, that charter, like, to me, that's, like, that hits right on tone. Like, we have someone that this is their life, and they're going to take us and be like, come into my life for an afternoon.
Yeah.
Like, go get some fish, and they cook it, or, like, you know, we gotta cook it on the beach. Or, like, I've seen ones where, like, they fucking go out, catch the fish, and cook that shit up, like, on the boat.
Oh, yeah.
Like, yo, so down for that type of experience.
That would be pretty dope.
There's gotta be stuff out here on the coast.
Oh, there's tons of stuff. So, I actually have a, like... I don't know why. I think it's because I grew up near a pond. We got to make sure we're good on time. I think we're good. So I grew up near a pond, and I fished for like the warm water species, which are bass and panfish. So bass, bluegill, a couple fish like that are considered warm water species that are just like fun for me to catch. It's what I know. It's kind of what I follow. But ironically, we're in the place of the country that's not like the opposite is popular.
Yeah.
So since we're so north, we're totally in... I don't think they're called cold water, but colder water species such as trout, salmon, sturgeon. Mostly trout and salmon are the big draws for people who like think of Pacific Northwest fishing. I think many of them would think of trout, steelhead, and salmon. Probably mostly steelhead and salmon.
Dude, if we went out and caught our own salmon and then had like a freezer full of fucking salmon,
be pretty dope,
dude.
Brunel PDX is going to take me rock fishing sometime. Have you ever just had like fish and chips, but they say it's rockfish?
Yeah, rockfish. Yeah.
Catch those motherfuckers.
Dope.
Yeah,
dude.
And you can catch them on similar tackle because you know there's all complex ways of catching fish.
Yeah.
And it's not my most fun to have all different ways. I like rod and reel. I like throwing lures instead of like live bait or whatever.
Okay.
But apparently you can catch rockfish in similar ways that you can catch bass, like I already like to catch.
Okay.
So that makes it really attractive. Like I know kind of how to chuck it out there and get a fish and like...
That's cool.
But I'm like way more into eating rockfish because like saltwater fish just sounds like better to eat for me. I don't know.
Yeah.
Some lakes and rivers are polluted around here, so I have never been a catch and eat person for my favorite species. I've always just been catch and release.
Yeah.
But like rockfish at the coast sounds like I'm so down.
That would be awesome.
Yeah,
that
go out there,
like a lot of fun,
fellow glassblower.
Yeah.
Show us, man. Brunel actually was a crab, or no, maybe a crab fisherman helper, or maybe a different fish helper. But he told me stories about like working down on the coast in like a fishing boat for a year or two. So that's a whole other thing. Yeah. He said that whatever fish they were fishing for, I have a feeling it was a fish and not a crab. I'm really unfamiliar with saltwater fishing and I have a lot of respect for it, so I don't want to like say I know what I'm doing. But he said that he was the guy who helped feed out the net and that it was a mile long. Like a mile of net or line or something. Feeding out something a mile long. That sort of scale is like, I don't even fucking know how to process that. It's wild.
Again, like, you know, without thinking about it, you know that sort of fishing goes on in the ocean. And you're like, yeah, they catch like fuckloads of fish. They have to use something like that. So like, but like, yeah, to kind of wrap your head around like knowing like point to point how far a mile is, like wherever you are. You know, like down Foster, I know like where a mile, like from point to point, how far a mile is.
Yeah.
To imagine like a net.
Yeah.
Being thrown that wide.
It's insane.
And like, how deep?
Yeah.
Like, how deep does that shit go? It's gotta go pretty fucking probably deep.
Yo, I have this fish story book, which we need to detail the Bigfoot book. Maybe we'll get on that next time. Because there's a bunch of theories about Bigfoot that we gotta hash out. They're very important. And other anomalous apes. So it's not just Bigfoot, it's a bunch of apes. But this fish story book is separate, and one of the little... So there's like 2-page stories, and then there's a couple that are just little paragraphs. And this one paragraph said scientists caught a whale, or were studying a whale, or were in contact with a whale or something. And they were like, what are these big circles on it? And it was 18-inch circles. They said twice as big as a basketball. And it said, that was the sucker from a giant squid.
Yeah.
So this whale was like wrapped up with a giant squid. And they estimated the giant squid would have to be 200 feet long to have suckers that big. What? Like, that's just out there?
Dude, giant squids have been one of those things that like super, super interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Because there's been, like, they've caught, like, on tape, like, 1 or 2 of, like, these, like, those monster things.
I saw one video on one of those, like, satisfying video compilations, and it was, like, a deep-sea underwater diver HD video comes across a giant squid egg, or, like, one mid, like an egg, but, like, it was see-through, so it was like a sack or something.
Okay.
Just like a big baby giant squid dwarfed the person like diving next to it.
No.
Yeah, it's the egg, and it's just it's like as big as a car. It looked like. like what?
Dude, that is so terrifying. Like, it's like it gets like a little sucker on you, and these shits don't let go.
You're done.
Could you imagine like a fucking like a sucker cup the size of your waist?
Yeah.
Just
what are you gonna
done.
do?
Dead.
Yeah, you're a crumb.
I'm gonna bite it.
Yeah.
They taste good.
Oh my god, ridiculous. But yeah, I'm thinking like you're a diver down there and you're like, oh cool, let's do science stuff on this baby giant squid. Well, the mother's gonna be right there.
Fucking arm comes out and like taps you on the shoulder.
Yeah. Oh my god, ridiculous. All right, we're gonna end it there. Thank you guys for tuning in. Episode 5. Much love. Like, comment, subscribe, and like Nick said, told us what you guys would like to see in a Patreon, and we'll work on getting that happen. Stay corny, y'all.